Another week in the world of motorsports has passed, so let's take a look at some of the news highlights of the week, including Formula One, Indy, NASCAR, Supercross, and more. Hi folks, my name is Pia, this is the Daily Racing Show, and we're going to talk about some of the racing news or motorsports news highlights of the week. Let's start off with MotoGP. They have released some of the 2027 regulation changes this week, and that includes reducing performance to 850cc in the future, as well as some new regulations for aero packages, a device ban for rider seat devices, as well as that GPS tracking of the individual drivers will become available to fans as well as competing teams. There have been mixed reviews from the riders' side. Some of them like it because the riding is now going back more to the skills of the individual drivers and not relying so much on technology. Others also agree that it's a good idea because the current bikes are outgrowing the tracks that they're riding on. However, they do want other championships such as the Superbike Championship to make additional changes as well so that the different levels continue to be in the world of motorcycle racing. I'm sure there will be a lot more discussions about the new regulation changes in the upcoming weeks, but let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on the new 2027 MotoGP regulation changes. Up next, I have unfortunately not so great news about Supercross. Our boy, the legend, Eli Tomac, will not be competing in the final that's coming up this weekend. Unfortunately, as you probably already know, he had a thumb injury, so he's now getting surgery for it because it is, as stated by the team, a Bennett fracture and torn ligament. So he's going to have the surgery, and then he needs to recover for about 6 to 8 weeks. So he will be missing out on the Supercross finale in Salt Lake City, Utah, and he will probably be missing out on at least the first 4 rounds of pro motocross this summer. We do wish Eli a speedy recovery. He will be missed this Saturday, and we hope to see him sooner than later again. I have some NASCAR news for you guys now. So Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been announced to be joining the TNT official on-air broadcasting team for next season. On top of that, he will also be providing additional material for socials and other programs, which include him driving on 5 NASCAR tracks with a special guest asking them questions in an interview-based format. I'm sure many fans are really excited to have this Hall of Famer join the broadcasting team to have real and authentic coverage of the NASCAR season. So definitely tune in for that next season on TNT. Up next, I have some news about the Le Mans 2024 race happening in June 12th through June 16th. The official entry list has been announced of 186 drivers in total competing at this year's Le Mans. Unfortunately, Sebastian Vettel, former F1 champion, multiple world champion, is not on the entry list. This year's Le Mans grid will have 4 additional hypercars on the grid, increasing the number to 23 hypercars in total. There was theories and speculation of whether Vettel will be joining one of the Porsche Penske vehicles on the track. However, Porsche and Vettel decided not to move forward for this year just because there was not enough time for Vettel to spend in the vehicle leading up to the big race. However, they said the door is not closed, so we'll see if Vettel will join them in the future. Who knows, maybe that's a sign that Vettel will be joining the F1 grid in 2025. I know there have been plenty of speculations about it, but only time will tell. Speaking of Formula One, I have 2 Formula One related news for you guys this week. First off, Kimi Antonelli, of course, has been in the talks this whole entire season about potentially joining the F1 grid in 2025. Now there are speculations, of course, that he might be joining sooner since a request to the FIA has been submitted to approve Antonelli's full super license. And on top of that, he has participated in several F1 testing sessions in Mercedes. He has tested at the Red Bull Ring in Imola, and upcoming now, he will be testing in Silverstone in the 2022 W13 Mercedes. Mick Schumacher, on the other hand, will also be participating in the test sessions. There are theories about Schumacher's numbers being compared to Antonelli's number, and maybe there's different possibilities for Schumacher to be joining the F1 grid next year, either with Williams, Mercedes, or even Alpine, since he's part of the Alpine factory team with the World Endurance Championship, which he has successfully been competing in this year. So we will see if either one of those two drivers will be joining the F1 grid either sometime this year to replace one of the drivers, aka Logan Sargent, or maybe next year. I personally, of course, would love to see Mick Schumacher on the grid. I don't think he had enough time the last time round, but we shall see. The second F1 news that I have for you is that the FIA is testing spray guards to protect the drivers during wet weather. This week, the second round of testing has taken place. The FIA has admitted that this challenge seems to be a little bit bigger than originally anticipated because, of course, you have to take into consideration that the spray guards on top of the wheels will need to be able to withstand 300 kilometers per hour of speed, and they should not mess up the aerodynamics too much. They are now testing different iterations of those mud guards on F1 vehicles, with a vehicle in the front with the mud guards and a vehicle behind it testing the spray levels to judge the visual impact during a race. So we will see how things go at the testing this week, and if a spray guard will be introduced into Formula One sooner than later. Up next, I have some IndyCar news for you. I'm sure you've heard all about the scandal, the cheating scandal from the Penske team. So now Roger Penske, the owner, has decided to suspend the president of Team Penske as well as 3 other team leaders for 2 races. In an interview with the Associated Press, Roger Penske said that there was no malicious intent by anybody in the team to cheat, and it was just an internal miscommunication that happened. There's a lot of conspiracy or speculation whether or not that is true, since 2 of the 3 drivers did use it during the race, although there are very specific rules that that's not allowed. However, Roger Penske will move forward with the 2-race suspension for those 4 team members. He also said he's in active conversation with 2-time Indy World Champion and reigning Indy 500 champ Josef Newgarden for a contract extension. Newgarden has also been accused and penalized for using the push-to-press button during illegal occasions. So we shall see how the Team Penske will fare during those 2 upcoming races where they will be missing their team members. And lastly, let's talk about the first virtual versus real race called Lap of Legends that will be airing on May 14th on BBC America, AMC, as well as the Roku channel. So basically, Williams driver Logan Sargent will compete in a 15-lap race against 6 other legendary F1 drivers through innovative technology that involves AI as well as augmented reality. He will be able to compete virtually while on the track against Mario Antonelli, Nigel Mansell, Alan Prost, Jenson Button, Jacques Villeneuve, and Damon Hill. So we will see how Logan Sargent will fare against those 6 F1 legends. Tune in for that on May 14th. All right, folks, that's all the racing news I have for you guys this week. Of course, there's lots more happening currently in the world of motorsports. I mean, we're in the peak season of motorsport. As mentioned in other videos, this weekend alone, we have over 60 racing events happening in the world. But to find out all the details on those racing events, check out our website, RacePlazaMedia.com, where you can find out the details about what to watch, where to watch, and when to watch it, including links to different streaming services that provide those different racing events. And with that, I'll leave you guys for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys again here tomorrow at the Daily Racing Show. Bye-bye.